Your cat is holding a grudge. Right now, he perfectly remembers that thing you did last week, and he hasn't forgotten. Cats have elephantine memories when it comes to betrayals. And number 7 on our list is so serious it could ruin your relationship forever. Stick around until the end because the last thing is something you probably did today without even realizing it. Cats don't forgive easily. While dogs forget transgressions in minutes, cats file away every offense in a mental database that will never be deleted. They are masters of silent resentment, calculated revenge, and selective memory that always works against you. And we're not talking about cute anthropomorphisms. Studies on feline cognition show that cats have episodic memory. They remember specific events, contexts, and the associated emotions. When you commit one of these 10 transgressions, you're not just bothering your cat momentarily. You're creating a permanent memory that will influence how it treats you going forward. If you truly want to understand your cat and avoid harboring eternal resentment towards it, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Get ready to discover 10 things your cat will never, ever forgive you for. Some will seem obvious, others will shock you, and you've probably done at least 3 of them this week. Number 1. Take him to the vet. Let's start with the ultimate betrayal. From your cat's point of view, you literally kidnapped it, put it in a prison-like box, transported it to an unknown place full of terrifying smells, and allowed a stranger to touch it, poke it, and possibly stick things where the sun doesn't shine. It doesn't matter that it's for his own good. It doesn't matter that you're saving his life. To the cat, you're a traitor, and he'll remember it for weeks, sometimes months. Observe his post-veterinary behavior. He ignores you, refuses to make eye contact, and avoids you when you try to pet him. This is not a coincidence. It's calculated punishment. He's showing you exactly how he feels about your betrayal. Number 2. Give him a bath. Unless your cat is one of the rare exceptions that tolerate water, bathing is considered cruel and unusual torture. Cats spend hours meticulously cleaning themselves. They have a perfectly functional system, and then you decide you know better and submerge them in water. From a feline's point of view, this is a double insult. You're saying his grooming work is inadequate, and you're forcing him to go through a physically uncomfortable and psychologically terrifying experience. Wet cats aren't just funny, they're traumatized. The sensation of soaked fur goes against all their instincts. After a bath, they'll spend hours cleaning themselves again, and each lick is a reminder of the indignity you forced them to endure. Number 3. Wake him up when he's sleeping. Cats sleep up to 16 hours a day, and they take that sleep very seriously. When you decide that that moment is perfect to pet them, move them because they're in their place, or simply pick them up because they're cute, you're committing a serious violation. Interrupting a cat's sleep is not just inconvenient, it's stressful. Cats in deep sleep can become confused and panicked when abruptly awakened, and even gently waking a cat is still an unwanted intrusion. And they remind you who the chronic sleep disruptors are. If you do this repeatedly, your cat will start choosing increasingly inaccessible resting places, not because he wants to stay away from you in general, but because he doesn't trust that you will respect his sleep. Number 4. Forgetting to feed him on time. Cats are creatures of extreme routine. If you feed your cat at 7 in the morning every day, its biological clock is calibrated for 7 in the morning. When you forget, delay, or decide to sleep in, you're not just making it wait for food, you're breaking a sacred contract. And cats don't accept excuses. It doesn't matter that you had an important meeting. It doesn't matter that you were sick. You failed in your one critical responsibility, and he's going to make sure you know it. Revenge comes in many forms. Incessant meowing at 5 in the morning for the next few days, knocking things off shelves, refusing to show affection, all subtle reminders that you are no longer trustworthy.
Leave a like if you've ever been through any of these situations. Number 5. Bring another animal home. This is potentially the deepest betrayal of all. From your cat's point of view, you had an agreement. This was his territory. You were his human. The resources were his. And then you unilaterally decide to bring in an intruder. It doesn't matter if it's another cat, a dog, or any other creature. You violated the territorial agreement without consultation, without warning, without consent. Cats that were affectionate and friendly can become distant and hostile after the introduction of another animal. Not because they're jealous in the human sense, but because you showed that you don't respect their territorial needs and that you're no longer their priority. And even if the animals eventually coexist peacefully, that original cat will never completely forget that you chose to share its attention.
Number 6. Trim his nails. Claws are survival tools. They're weapons, climbing equipment, and instruments of territorial communication. When you cut them, you are disarming your cat. It doesn't matter that you're protecting your furniture. It doesn't matter that you're preventing scratches. For the cat, you're removing an essential part of its functional anatomy. And doing so requires immobilizing it and holding its paws, two things cats deeply hate. The experience of having your nails cut is associated with loss of control and vulnerability. And if you accidentally cut the quick, the living part of the nail, you add physical pain to the humiliation. That memory doesn't go away. Number 7. Travel and leave it behind. Here's the betrayal that can ruin your relationship permanently: abandoning your cat. Obviously, you're not really abandoning it, you're traveling and coming back. But your cat doesn't understand the concept of a temporary vacation. From his point of view, you simply disappeared. Without explanation, without a comprehensible warning, without any guarantee of return. And then a stranger or someone less familiar takes over the care. The routine changes, your scent gradually disappears from the house, and the cat enters a state of deep stress. When you finally return, expecting a warm welcome, what do you get? Cold indifference. He completely ignores you. He turns his back when you approach. He refuses food you offer. This isn't just a tantrum, it's emotional protection. You've shown that you can disappear without warning, so the cat builds emotional barriers to protect itself next time. And even after you reconcile, there's always a residual hesitation. A part of it will never fully trust that you won't disappear again. Number 8. Reorganize the furniture. Cats create detailed mental maps of their territory. They know exactly where everything is, have established routes, strategic observation points, and carefully selected resting places. Their environment is predictable and controlled. And then you decide to redecorate. Suddenly, the sofa is in a different place. His favorite shelf has been removed. His nighttime running track now has unexpected obstacles. You've completely messed up his world without warning. This isn't just inconvenient, it's disorienting and stressful. Cats rely on territorial familiarity to feel safe. When you drastically alter the environment, you force the cat to remap everything, re-establish olfactory markers, and find new strategic points. And they will show their disapproval by relieving themselves outside the litter box, scratching furniture they previously ignored, or refusing to use areas you've prepared for them. Share this video with other cat owners so they can avoid these betrayals. Number 9. Force interaction when he wants to be alone. Cats need space. When a cat hides under the bed, goes to another room, or clearly shows that it wants to be alone, it is communicating a legitimate need for privacy. And when you ignore this, when you drag it from under the bed, chase it around the house, or force affection when it is clearly refusing, you are violating its boundaries. This teaches the cat that you are not trustworthy, that its attempts to communicate boundaries are ignored, that it has no control over its own space and body, and this creates chronic anxiety. Cats whose boundaries are constantly violated become increasingly evasive. They develop elaborate strategies to avoid you, and the relationship deteriorates into a constant game where you are the predator they need to avoid. Number 10. Change his food without transition. Here's the 10th unforgivable transgression:
abruptly changing their diet. Cats are notoriously picky about food, and when they find something they like, they expect consistency. So when you decide to try a new brand, either because the market didn't have your usual food, or you simply thought you should vary your diet, and you completely switch from one day to the next, you are committing multiple offenses simultaneously. First, you changed his routine without consulting him. Second, you're offering something with a different smell, texture, and taste than expected. And third, abrupt changes in diet can cause digestive discomfort. Your cat could literally get sick because of your decision. And the reaction? He'll look at the bowl, stare at you with palpable disdain, and refuse to eat. Not because he's being dramatic, but because you've broken the most basic trust, providing consistent and safe food. Some cats go on hunger strikes for days after an abrupt change in food. And every hour that passes without eating is an hour that he's punishing you for your culinary betrayal. 10 things your cat will never forgive you for. And if you've been a cat owner for a while, you've probably committed at least half of these transgressions, some multiple times. The truth is, living with cats occasionally means doing things they hate. Vet visits are necessary. Trips happen. Furniture needs rearranging. But understanding that these actions have real emotional consequences helps you minimize trauma and rebuild trust afterward. Do cats forgive? Occasionally, some do, but they never forget. That memory remains archived, ready to be accessed whenever you do something remotely similar. It's the price of living with a creature that has an excellent memory and an unwavering sense of justice. Leave a comment below. Which of these 10 things have you done? And what revenge did your cat take? If you want more content about feline behavior and how to keep your cat happy and less vengeful, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Your cat may not forgive, but at least you'll understand why. Until the next video.